heart attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and past. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kiru's show here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Deku, and well, quite a bit of things have happened. Now, in the last part, Deku, he has just met with David's shield and Sir Night-Eye. Because of All Might's shadow within One for All, he was told, or at least influenced, to bring David's shield into this. Deku has sat both of these men down and told them about his condition. Now, Deku doesn't fully understand why the shadow told him to bring in David's shield. Sir Night-Eye is understandable. This man is a pro hero with a quirk that is very dangerous. People know that this man can see the future. However, they are also aware that there is a limit, but nobody knows exactly what that is. Now, Deku does believe this man will be able to tell Deku if things do progress badly, since his overall meddling is also a problem. He is a literal dead man walking, so he really shouldn't be here. Now, Deku's also met with Melissa's shield, and this girl, she was quite surprised meeting him. He's got this strange condition going on with his brain. He's knows that there's no cure, and he's got multiple quirks. But at the same time, he doesn't really seem too bothered by the fact that he might die. He just carries on about his day as if it's just, oh, well, okay, that's fine. As if he's just shrugging off some minor inconvenience. Now, that did somewhat trouble her. This guy is not right in the head, and it isn't just that weird condition. Now, with that being said, a few days have passed, and today is the day where the USJ incident is supposed to occur. Deku, yeah. Aizawa's out right now, with 1A. And many of the other students or many of the other teachers are also busy. All Might, he's currently taking a break inside the teacher's lounge. Because of one simple thing. He used his time limit. And he's out of it. Now, Deku, yeah. He's just running around the UA grounds. And it's quite interesting to him. He's gone for jogs usually in the morning, and done more on his routine. However, running does help him to clear his mind a bit, and it does actually help him to relax a bit more. Now, he does just try to think, as he's talking with Yoshi, as we do cut inside of Deku's head, where both the two are sitting in the on the thrones or in the chairs talking about exactly the past. So, I'm just still confused by everything. Yeah, so am I. Tell me, do you have memories of him? Seisho? Yeah, I do. I have a few that you've seen. Okay, but I just don't understand. Understand what? Well, everything. Why did I awaken now? Maybe because of One for All? I don't know. It's just weird. That's right about that. I'm just trying to think though. When? How is it possible for us to have a next life? I don't know. I know that I had a quirk, and that's really about it. But at the same time, it's just weird to me. Did I have another one? Yeah, I don't think that's possible. Do you think that there's something higher than just us? What do you mean? Izuku, think about it. There has to be some reason where you and we know. It's strange to me. We got a second chance at life, but for what reason? To kill to kill our brother. Hmm, that's what I'm thinking. We could take him out, but at the same time, I'm not exactly too sure if that's what we're supposed to do here. Huh? I mean, yeah, I failed. I mean, he's a very broken individual, Zuko. I I've seen that. Have you? Let me tell you a story. If this is the story about that day you found him dazed, looking at TV static, I know. I've seen that memory. I saw how that man was. He was different from some of the previous ones I've seen. It was strange to me. Hmm? Yeah, it was. It wasn't too good. I have more memories of my brother. Some of them, they got far worse. I wish he never changed. I just don't know what to do. I understood whenever I was getting passed down, user to user, that it was going to happen one day. This piece of me inside of us, it knows our brother has to die one day, but it couldn't come to terms with that. So, what are you saying? I really don't know. Do you think it would be possible if we can turn him in? What? Yeah. I think we might have to turn all for one in. That might be the easier thing to do. But I thought you said we had to kill him. I know. It might seem strange to you, Izuku, but this is where Deku's train of thought is cut off. As Deku he does turn his head to see a guy with engines in his legs in a suit of armor. And the guy is running right towards UA. Deku, looking at the guy, as he's going to bring up his hands and going to stop the guy. Now, Black whipped the shit out of his hands. As Ida, he does get caught, and he does directly to turn his head looking as his legs are still running. And Deku, he did just lift him up off the ground. Yo, hey, you might want to calm down there a bit. Hey, you need to let me go. This is incredibly important. Hmm? Okay, Speedy, exactly what's going on here? You need to listen to me. Right now, the League of Villains, they're attacking the USJ. What? Yes, I need to get help. I ran off. The students, they're all in. Deku dropping the guy. As he does go falling forwards, and Deku does look the direction of the USJ. And Deku he does go to actually turn on one for all. As Ida does watch the guy turn, step, and lift off into the air. Ida very confused. Wait, that's not right. Shit! Him turning it back around to run. Now, we do currently have the USJ. Where... Yikes. Yeah, a few things are happening here. Now, Deku, yeah. He does show up about 3 to, let's see. I would say the USJ is about what? Not 10 minutes away, but probably 15 minutes away from UA. And for Ida, him having a max speed of, I believe, 120 miles, or between 160, I want to say that he could get there in 5 or 7 minutes. So for Deku, that would be nothing. Now, Deku, as he's flying through the air and moving fast, he's actually going to bring up his hands to blast fire. As you do actually have where Deku, he does come smashing through the roof of the USJ. And the moment he does, everybody do turn up to see that, as the loud glass, or the glass dome, immediately does break into two. Now, you do actually have where Deku, he does just stand there flying. And he does go to look around. Okay, this is not good. Holy shit, this place is huge. Now, Deku, he is just floating there in the air, as he does look around. Now, Deku, he does see a large group of villains, as they're all crowding around Aizawa. And Aizawa, he's looking up in the air, as he does go to blink. Now, Deku, yeah. He does just start flying towards Mr. Aizawa, as he does come smashing in and landing onto the ground. Now, the moment Deku does, he does look at the villains, as does activate one for all 25%, along with actually using Black Whip to begin to start ripping apart the villains. Now, everyone, they're all quite surprised. Somebody just came smashing through the top of the building, and they're fighting against the villains? They're on their side? Oh, thank God. Now, we do actually have Deku, where he does actually go to smash through 5 different villains using Black Whip, as he is going to bring up his hand and go to blast fire at many villains. Now, the moment that actually does happen, Deku does just use Smokescreen, as he does go rushing through villains, smashing through them, and going to grab Aizawa, before going to fly up into the air and ask exactly what's going on here. Kid, you're right on time. My eyes are dry as hell. Okay, good. So, do you mind explaining to me exactly what happened here? The villains are attacking. What more do you need? You know, I really should have asked for more. Kid, now's not the time for jokes. You know, you're right. So, exactly what should we do then? First, could you put me down? Now, Deku does fly back over by the stairs, setting Aizawa down as he does just look around the area. Now, Deku, he does see a few students. There's a guy blasting ice at many villains, so he's apparently good. And then Deku, he does hear explosions as Bakugo does come flying up and go to land. Deku, what the hell are you doing here? Bakugo? Fuck, I forgot he was in class 1A. Hey, it's been a while. Don't give me that shit. Exactly what Bakugo Katsuki. I don't know exactly what your... Well, I don't know exactly what your problem is, but right now is not the time. I'm sorry, it's just... Why? How? Okay, I'll explain later. Now, you do actually have where everybody, they do at least start to make a plan. Aizawa's gonna try and deal with the guy with a portal. He does want Bakugo's help. If they can restrain him and take him down, they can stop the villains from leaving here. And Deku, he is going to take care of the massive amount of villains to thin their numbers. Now, the moment Deku does actually hear that, he does going to step off and blast forwards, as the other users, they're all trying to give Deku combat advice. Now, Deku would express to them that he understands what's happening here. He knows what he's doing. Now, the villains are quite surprised. Along with even many different people, they're quite shocked. Whoever that guy is, he's moving so fast they can hardly see him. Now, Deku, within the span of, let's say, 3 minutes, using 30%, he does actually take out quite a bit of villains. And you even have where he does actually go to stand up. As he does look around more. Okay, I should probably start clearing the areas, and Deku actually feeling danger sense go off as he is going to blast to his left with his fire. Now, Deku used float in conjunction to fly through the air. As Deku he did actually then go to spin his body in turn, looking directly at Tomura Shigaraki. Oh crap, I missed one. Kid, who the hell are you? How do you do that? Huh? Do what? Your quirks. I thought only All for One had them. All for One. Okay, how do you know him? Know him? My master's quite simple. Do you not know who you're messing with? I know exactly who I'm messing with. So who exactly are you? Me? I'm Tomura Shigaraki. Shigaraki? Wait, since when did my brother have a kid? Holy shit, he got laid? Okay. Now, Deku to just tell the first user, now is not the time. Kid, I'm just curious. I don't believe it. Your brother can take and give quirks, but you find this hard to believe? You don't understand. Now, Deku does go rushing forwards, talking about how he really doesn't. Now, the first user does try to explain as that Deku is trying to fight Shigaraki. The fact is, his brother wasn't very good at talking to people. And yeah, he came off way too strong. Now, he also does also start talking about how he was egotistical and eventually turned into a psychopath. So all those mixed together aren't really all too good for dating. Now, Deku, he's just thinking. He really doesn't need to hear this right now. No. As Deku does go, flying through the air and directly towards Shigaraki, a portal would open. And Deku, he does turn, or at least look at it quite surprised. As he does go, blasting his hands out forwards to protect him. Now, Deku, he does blast his hands forwards as he does completely come to a stop. And he does actually go to bring up his wrist or have Black Whip fly out of his arm and see what's exactly going on. Now, it does go through the portal. As the portal does open up behind Deku, and Deku he does use Danger Sense. As he is going to spin around to try to go bring up his hand to grab Black Whip. Now, the villain there, Kirigiri was quite surprised. What the hell? How did he do that? Now, Deku does look around, watching as that portal villain, his portal does close. And you do actually have Aizawa, who, yeah, it was quite intriguing to see that. Now, Deku does go looking back towards Shigaraki, as he does bring his hand up and hold up Black Whip, as the power to start pouring from Deku's hands. Okay, so, do you want to just surrender, or are you going to give up? Because I really don't feel like beating up Seiso's kid. What are you talking about? It's a long story. Tell your dad I said hi. Dad? You know my master? That's not important right now. Now, Shigaraki does just think, this guy's fucking crazy. Now, he does just look towards Kirigiri, as he does just tell him to summon the damn Nomu. This lunatic is gonna kill him. Now, Kirigiri, yeah, he's having a bit of issues. And you do actually have where Aizawa, he does go to blink. Now, Kirigiri, he does get away, as he does open a massive portal, and then go to fly down into it, or underneath his feet as he does fall straight down. Now, this is actually where everybody, they do actually watch as a portal does open up above Deku. Deku actually going to bring his hands up and fly backwards. As, yeah, this would be where the Nomu, it does show up, dropping into the area as Shigaraki does tell it to charge that damn kid. Now, Deku should see the Nomu. As you actually have where he does go to bring his hands up. Just thinking, okay, this should be easy. That thing is weird. But if he's correct, he should be able to. Deku actually watches the Nomu just rush forwards. And Deku does watch as it does come at him incredibly fast. Shit. Now, as Deku did notice that the Nomu was coming in fast, he did increase himself to 40%. Watching as the Nomu did get slightly slower in his vision, but he'd actually go to leap backwards and try to get away. The Nomu actually punching right into Deku's arms as Deku got sent flying backwards. Now, Deku he did go flying through the air as his danger sense was going off. Now, Deku he did actually use Black Whip to grab out and reach for the ground. As Black Whip just starts tearing its way through the ground, and Deku does eventually slow down. Now, Deku, yeah, he does just think, that really hurt his arms. Okay, so, this is not going to be easy. You're really right, it won't be. Now, Deku does turn his head, as he does see somebody who he has rarely talked to. Exactly what are you doing here? Yeah, kid, you gotta listen to me right now. That thing, you're lucky you're lucky I'm here. Okay, but what happened? Well, if I didn't just give you access to my quirk, you would have been killed. Huh? Yeah, listen to me very carefully. You know my quirk card told you it was very dangerous for you to use? Yeah? I'm gonna make a bit of an exception here. But you have to listen to me very, very carefully. Depending on how you do here right now will depend on if I give you access to it right now, or I allow you to use it freely. Okay, so give me a rundown. Okay. Repetitive movement. Fajin. Uh-huh. Kid, you're going to need to move around really, really fast. Build up a lot of energy, and then release it. I'm confused. How are you? I'll explain it to you as you move. Now, start running. Now, Deku to just go running to his right. As the Nomu does, look his direction and go to chase after him. Now, Deku he does just start thinking. As he does listen to what the, user Fajin does say. Now, Deku as he's moving, he does actually see the Nomu. It does appear right as his danger sense does go off. And Deku he's told to do the following thing, as he does going to bring up his hand and smash right into the Nomu. Now, the moment Deku does smash into the Nomu, the shock absorption does actually go on. And Deku he does feel the shockwave blast around the entire USJ. Now, everybody there are thinking, as you actually have where Shigaraki did get sent flying backwards. Now, Aizawa did watch as Deku he just stand there with his fist held out, thinking that Deku he did a 100% smash for a second. Now, Aizawa was very surprised because the force put in that punch, as Deku does go flying backwards just as the Nomu did go to smash down towards him. Now, Deku he's moving backwards at high speed, as he's going to swing his arms outwards and then start moving to his left. Now, Shigaraki he is paying attention. This boy's strong. Now, he does actually look towards his right to tell Kirigiri that they have to be careful here. This kid has another quirk. You've got to be kidding me. How many quirks does this kid have? I don't know. Shigaraki, that kid's moving strangely. I see that. He has strength and speed. It's annoying. Now, they do actually watch as Deku is moving weirdly. He's trying to swing his body and get as much movement as he can possible. And the Nomu is rushing towards him. Deku actually leaping forwards this time and going on the offensive. Now, as Deku does do that, he does actually leap forwards using Fajin. As he does get directly up into the Nomu and go to bring up both of his hands, smashing at 40%. and using Fajin in conjunction. Now, the one Deku does actually do, he does send the Nomu flying backwards, as its feet are skidding across the ground. Now, as that does actually happen, everyone they're staring up at the fight. And Aizawa, he's trying to think. He can't nullify that thing's quirk. This is very bad. Now, Deku does look towards Aizawa, telling him to go help other students. Kid, you're crazy. I've got this. Now, Deku, he does start moving around once again. Except this time he does start using Fajin. Okay, the more momentum I have, the harder my punches go. Okay, let's see exactly what 40% can do. Now, Deku, he does just think. If he does jump to 47%, he'll have a higher chance. But at the same time, the strain it'll put on his body. Is it worth the risk? Okay, maybe so. 45 just to be safe. Now, Deku does increase in speed. And Shigaraki, he's looking around trying to see where this boy is. He's just seeing flashes of lightning. And, well, so much streaks. He can't keep up. The boy's too fast. Now, you actually have the Nomu. It's trying to rush and fight against Deku. However, Deku, his speed is currently matching 100% of One For All usage. In fact, let's just say it's overreaching a bit. Now, Deku, he is moving around. And this time he actually does pass by the Nomu as he's going to throw out his right hook as hard as he can. Punching into the Nomu's back as Deku, he does actually watch as the shock absorption from the front does go to blast open. Now, Deku, he would actually watch as the Nomu, its chest or everything in front of its ribcage just basically start to poke out of its body. Deku's just thinking that, shit, this guy is gonna die, isn't he? Now, Deku would watch as the Nomu, it does start to regenerate. And he does just think, that's disgusting. Now, Shigaraki does talk about how the Nomu, it's a monster. It's had so many quirks put into it that it's basically not human. Now, Deku does hear Shigaraki boast. The Nomu is a creature that's well beyond human limits. And in fact, the Nomu, it is deranged. Now, Deku is just thinking, if this thing is basically just a mindless killing machine, he wouldn't really feel too bad about this. So, going all out is an option here. Now, Deku, he also does at least try to think though. This thing, its quirk, it's not shock absorption. Along with that, there's its other quirk, the strength and speed. Along with the healing. This thing would be basically unstoppable to anybody else. Now, Deku does continue his fight against the Nomu. As we do actually have where eventually Aizawa, he does hear reinforcements show up. Now, this is where the heroes, they all do come bursting into the room. And Deku would turn his head to see All Might. Now, All Might does quickly rush into the battlefields. As we actually do have where the injured are being treated, and everybody else, they're also being saved by various pro heroes. Now, after that's all said and done, we actually do have Deku and All Might. The students who are there to see it, they watch as All Might, he does quickly stand next to this boy, and go to bring up his hand, telling him that he needs to step back. All Might, listen, I got this. Young Midoriya, this isn't the time right now. Everyone will see your face. All Might, that kid over there. Deku looking up at him, talking about how that's his nephew. What? Yeah. You know, funny enough, it's weird how family reunions like this usually always end up with us trying to kill each other. Young Midoriya, that is not... I get it, All Might, but listen, right now is not the time. We both need to take this thing down. I've noticed a few things about it. It's not human, it's made in a lab. Along with that, it's, well, it regenerates. Huh? Now, the Nomu does come rushing forwards. Deku using Fajin to move backwards. As he does also shout that it's also incredibly fast and incredibly strong. Now, All Might, yeah. Him and Deku do start to work together. And everyone need to watch as Deku using Fajin, he does start to move at high speeds. And he does come blasting in with his explosions. Or not his explosions, his flames. Now, everyone they're all watching that. As Deku does amp his flames up using One for All, and then go to blast out as far or as hard as he can. Now, everyone they do see that. This guy, he's using so many quirks. Now, there is even Todoroki, who his mind is racing right now. His father, he did a lot just to get him. And this guy, strength, speed, lightning, the ability to fly, the construction thing like Tokoyami's, and then fire? This couldn't be. He's trying to think. Along with that, there's All Might, who's on the battlefield with him. The two, they've got very explosive power. This guy, he looks also to be around his age. Is it possible that All Might has a son? But wait, that still doesn't make sense. What is his power then? Don't tell me that this kid's like All Might. Now, he is just trying to wonder, if his father went through so much just to get him, what did All Might put this kid through? What did he put his son through? Now, the battle does eventually end, with both Deku and All Might blasting the Nomu out of the USJ, as All Might had to go to do his 100% smash and use up his time limit. Now, the moment Deku did actually turn to see smoke coming off of All Might, he did actually go to bring up his hands, and create a massive amount of smoke as the screen did come up. Now, everyone there is still quite curious about that. This being with the guy Deku flying off into the air. Deku flying at high speeds using Fajin and Float, along with One for All, and then actually carrying All Might. Now, Deku, he is flying through the air. As All Might does comment that he's very happy that the boy was there. Yeah, I saved your ass. Yes, young Midoriya. Along with that, well, you did help out Aizawa quite a bit. I did, didn't I? I'm pretty proud of myself too. However, I do have many concerns. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I know a lot of people were actually waiting for me to use that joke about Shigaraki being, well, All for One's son, and what I said with Deku. I know a lot of you guys were probably waiting for that sentence to be said, and not gonna lie, I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed.